Imagine you're Noah, standing alone in a sun-scorched field, the horizon shimmering with heat. A voice, deep, divine, unshakable, breaks the silence. It's God, and he commands, "Noah, build a ship, a colossal ark of wood, from scratch, big enough to hold 16,000 animals, lions, giraffes, sparrows, serpents, every kind of creature that walks, flies, or crawls. You'll do it alone, no blueprint, no crew, just you." Can you even wrap your mind around it? A floating fortress massive enough for 16,000 animals, built with nothing but your hands, an axe, and stacks of gopher wood? Picture the chaos, hauling logs heavier than you, hammering nails until your arms scream, designing a ship without a single sketch, no one to lift a beam, no one to share the load. How do you build something that immense, that perfect, without collapsing under the weight of it all? What would you do right then? Would you stand frozen, staring at the endless wood, thinking, "This is impossible"? Would you dare question God, saying, "Me? Alone?" Or would you, like Noah, grip that axe, heart pounding, and take the first swing, trusting the one who called you? Noah didn't freeze. He swung that axe. The first tree fell with a crack that echoed across the valley, a sound that seemed to wake the world. But the world wasn't ready to listen. Noah was no shipbuilder. He was a farmer, a father, a man of faith in a land grown wicked. God had seen the earth's corruption, violence, greed, hearts turned to stone. He told Noah the unthinkable. A flood was coming to cleanse it all. The ark was the only hope, not just for Noah's family, but for every creature God chose to spare. Day after day, Noah toiled. The sun rose and set, and the pile of logs grew. His hands blistered, his back ached, but he kept going. He measured each plank by instinct, trusting God's guidance where blueprints failed. The ark took shape, 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, 45 feet high, a wooden giant rising from the dust. Can you see it? A ship in the middle of nowhere, no ocean in sight, just endless fields under a mocking sun. What would your neighbors think if you built a ship in your backyard? Would they call you a genius or a madman? They called Noah a madman. The people of his village, friends, cousins, strangers gathered to watch. At first, they were curious, squinting at the growing frame. "Noah, what's this?" they'd ask, smirking. "A barn? A palace?" When he told them, a ship for a flood to save animals and his family, their laughter roared. "A flood? Here? You're out of your mind," they jeered. Children threw stones at the ark's sides, chanting, "Noah's folly, Noah's folly." Men leaned on fences, spitting in the dirt, shouting, "Old man, you've lost it. Go back to your crops." Women whispered, "Poor Noah's wife, married to a lunatic." Did that sting? Imagine pouring your heart into a task, knowing it's from God, and hearing nothing but insults. Would you keep going? Would you shout back, "You'll see when the rain comes"? Or would you, like Noah, stay silent, letting your work answer? Noah didn't argue. He swung his axe, hammered his nails, and prayed. His sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, watched their father, unsure at first. They were young, strong, but even they doubted. "Father," Shem once whispered, "what if they're right?" Noah's eyes, weathered but fierce, met his son's. God spoke, "Shem, that's enough." Years passed, decades, some say. The ark grew, its wooden walls towering over the plain. Noah's hair grayed, his hands grew gnarled, but his faith held. The mockers never stopped. "Noah, where's your rain?" they taunted, pointing at the cloudless sky. "Your God's forgotten you." A drunk stumbled by one night, slurring, "I'll dance on your ark when it rots." Noah heard it all, every barb, every laugh. Yet he worked, alone at first, then with his sons, who began to believe. His wife, steadfast, prepared food and pitch, ignoring the village gossip. Can you feel their isolation? A family against the world, betting everything on a promise no one else believed. What would keep you going in their place? Faith, fear, or something deeper? Then one day, the animals came. It wasn't a trickle, it was a stampede, a migration no one could explain. Elephants lumbered across the horizon, their trunks swaying. Lions roared, their manes catching the sun. Tiny sparrows darted overhead, swarming like a living cloud. Snakes slithered, wolves prowled, giraffes towered, each pair moving as if drawn by an unseen hand. The villagers froze, mouths open, as 16,000 creatures marched toward the ark. Can you picture the chaos? The bleats, roars, and squawks blending into a wild symphony? Noah stood at the ark's ramp, guiding each pair inside, his voice steady. This way, into the stalls. His sons ran, herding antelope, calming panicked zebras. His wife tossed hay, her hands trembling, but sure. The mockers weren't laughing now. Some fled, whispering, "What is this?" Others stood, eyes wide, as the ark filled. Noah didn't gloat. He worked, sweat dripping, until the last pair, a tiny pair of mice, scurried aboard. Then God spoke again. "Noah, take your family and enter the ark. 7 days from now, I will send rain." 7 days. After decades of waiting, the clock was ticking. Can you feel the urgency? Knowing the end is coming, and you're the only one prepared? Would you look back at the village, hoping someone might join you? Noah didn't. He led his wife, his sons, their wives into the ark. The massive door groaned shut, sealed by God's own hand. On the 7th day, the sky changed. The sun vanished behind a wall of black clouds, thick and churning. A cold wind swept the plain, carrying the first drops, fat, heavy, relentless. The rain came, not a drizzle, but a deluge, as if the heavens had torn open. Streams became rivers, rivers became torrents. The villagers screamed, running for hills that wouldn't save them. "Noah," some cried, pounding the ark's sides. "Let us in." Their voices drowned in the roar of water. Can you hear their desperation? Imagine their faces, people you knew, now swept away, clawing at a ship they mocked. Would you open the door, risking everything? Or would you trust God's plan? Heartbreaking as the waters rose. The flood swallowed the earth. Villages vanished, forests sank, mountains disappeared under waves. The ark rocked, a speck in an endless sea. Inside, Noah's family worked, feeding lions, calming birds, mucking stalls. The stench was overwhelming, the noise deafening. Noah prayed, his voice steady over the storm's howl. His sons grumbled, exhausted. His wife held them together, her quiet strength the anchor. Days turned to weeks, then months. 150 days of water, no land in sight. Can you imagine the claustrophobia, the fear that this was forever? What would you cling to? Hope, prayer, or would despair creep in? Then one morning, the rain stopped. The clouds parted, revealing a sky so blue it hurt to look. Noah sent a raven, then a dove. The raven didn't return, but the dove came back, a fresh olive leaf in its beak. Land, life, hope. Noah wept, his family cheering. Weeks later, the ark lurched, grounding on a mountain, Ararat, jagged and new. God spoke, "Go out, multiply, fill the earth." Noah stepped onto dry ground, the mud cool under his feet. He built an altar, the smoke of his offering rising to a clear sky. Can you feel that moment? After everything, insults, labor, loss, a new beginning. What would you say to God standing on that mountain? The waters receded, the earth reborn. Noah's family spread out, planting crops, building homes. The ark stood, a silent monument, its wood weathered but strong. The world was new, but the promise remained. God's covenant, sealed with a rainbow arcing across the sky. Noah, the man who swung the axe, who faced the taunts, who trusted the voice, became the father of nations. His faith, his ark, his story carried through time to you. So what about you? When the world laughs, when the task feels impossible, when the rain comes, will you swing the axe? Will you build, even when no one believes? Noah did, and the world was never the same. What a journey, right? Noah faced the impossible. Mockery, storms, a world washed away, and built a legacy through faith. Now it's your turn to build something. Join our community. If this story moved you, hit that like button to let us know. Want more epic tales like this? Subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Share your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in Noah's place? Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay faithful, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.